bus arrived. Okay, so must we go towards the reception? Into the venue.
Our next esteemed panelist can be accredited for naming Bafana amongst many other things. As a result, that pattern became part of our landscape. Now we have Kroko and all those things. So that's what creative people do. Amongst many other things that he has done, he has worked in all sorts of print media. So when we used to call it the world. Those of us from my age group, the magazine Drum, when it was Drum, now I don't know what it is, Drumish. And one of the newspapers I'm capable of reading for obvious reasons, so we don't do clicks. So our tongues are not stretched that far. But amongst many other things, he has been in this space for more than 35 years. So he will not even qualify as a youth, if that was his age. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, allow me, or let us praise ourselves as Mr. Mseleku comes up. Oh, by the way, before you start up, when I said Mr. Mseleku was going to speak, somebody said, but the convener is not here. The convener does not have copyright to that statement. He borrowed it like the rest of them. Ladies and gentlemen, he just chewed his 2 seconds.
A very good morning to you, Your Excellencies, and greet you all in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. As mentioned, my name is S'Busiso Mseleku. I'm the president and founder of S'Busiso Mseleku Sports, which is a digital sports platform. We have a website, we have a blog, we have a YouTube channel, and we have a Facebook page, S'Busiso Mseleku Sports Facebook page. And yes, my last job was a sports editor at City Press since 2006 until mid last year. The first time I walked into a newsroom, I'm not going to mention here, I saw this gentleman who was sitting on a typewriter. The millennials are not going to understand what I'm talking about. And he had, well, for lack of a better word, he had a pair of glasses. only one class, and there was nothing on the other side. And I looked at him and I said to myself, I don't want to be like this. Little did I know that by that, you know, the Bible says we prophesy without and we create with our mouths. Little did I know that as early as back then, I was prophesying the death of the print media. And if you look at the print media, over the years, it has declined to almost, last year somebody said the print media is going to the dogs. And somebody responded by saying, no, actually it's residing there in the kennels with the canines. If you look at circulation figures, it's amazing. But just to give a background, to go back on the history of the print media, it is a dying product. Like Kodak. And there's a number of things. I'm not a marketer, I'm just a trained journalist. But I think there's a number of things that has contributed to the death of the print media. Besides the innovations that have come up with the digital media, which is killing the print media. But unfortunately, advertisers still prefer to advertise on the print media more than on the digital media. And the print media finds itself caught between the rock and the hard place. Because while they're developing their digital platforms, the digital platforms are not generating as much revenue as the print media does. So their traditional advertisers still want to advertise in the print media, prefer to advertise in the print media. That is because of the long history. But actually, the death of the print media started on the day that one Marconi guy came with something called the wireless. That was the beginning of the death. But because people who were running and owning radio stations, just like Kodak, didn't have the vision and they didn't know how powerful the tool they had. The print media survived for a long time as the most reliable source of information for people. And people grew up reading newspapers, daily newspapers, weekly newspapers, and monthly magazines. But actually, as soon as radio came on board, and here in South Africa, the turning moment for print media that showed the power of radio happened on the 10th of April 1993. Does anyone remember what happened on that day? The day Chris was assassinated. And we was the first media house to report on that. I was at the Star Building on South Street on that day, attending a course on advanced journalism. And we first, like most South Africans, heard the news on Radio 702. Because as soon as they heard, they sent a journalist on to the spot. And as soon as he arrived, he placed a call to the newsroom, and the radio station stopped all their programs. And they spoke to this journalist, and people started calling in. That was a turning point for South African media. Because radio has got the power of immediacy. So it's instant. But now digital media now is taken over again. Even radio now comes second. Because now people have got these small gadgets on their heads where they get news live, real-time news, we get them. So as a result, I'm going to share these few figures with you. The biggest newspaper in South Africa used to be the Sunday Times. And at some stage, the Sunday Times circulation was more than 500,000 copies that they sold on each Sunday. Can anyone guess how much do they sell now? What is the latest figure? It's 260,000. And when Daily Sun came to the spot, at some stage, I was in a meeting with their general manager. Their daily print order was 600,000. And even that didn't meet the demand at the time. Yeah. The only reason they were printing 600,000 is because in the entire country, in South Africa, there was no printing machine that could handle more than 600,000, to print more than 600,000 a day. And they used to print 600,000 a day and sell them off, and they sold out. Can anyone guess how much the Daily Sun is selling these days? 141,000. City Press, where I worked since 2003, when Matata Tselu was editor, he pushed circulation to because sometimes I even now still get caught saying we when they speak about City Press. When Matata Tselu, their main competition was Sunday Times. But Matata Tselu pushed City Press to just above 200,000 circulation. And on some Sundays we used to touch 220,000. And we used to fluctuate between 210 and 220. Matata Tselu left, let me not mention names, another editor came, who the first thing that editor did was to get rid of the slogan, distinctly African, and branded City Press as a South African newspaper, not an African newspaper, and sales just plummeted. When that editor left, the circulation was just above 80,000. And another editor came, who is still there. And the latest figures for City Press is 39,000. The Sowetan today sells 70,000. And the Bible says, the beginning of wisdom is the fear of God. For many years that I worked in the media as a Christian, I had one main concern and complaint that I've raised with every editor that I've worked under, from my days at Ilana newspaper, to my days at Dra magazine, to my days at Sowetan, that we don't cater, the print media don't cater for religion. The only thing that you usually find in newspapers is just your daily verse. Just maybe when you go, some of them carry them on page 2 and others on page 3. When you open the newspaper, you find a small verse there for the day. And I mean, the word of God is the daily bread. And people are hungry for Jesus out there. Now, this print media, for me, as a God-fearing Christian, I believe that this ignoring God and not reporting on anything that is godly has also contributed to the death of the print media. And if you see today, and I think Also another thing, the print media has been stuck in the past. Like our training, and even journalists before us, their training was that how do you determine a story? And the example that was used quite often and all the time, I think anyone who has ever done even a bit of media and PR will know, they say a story is when, it's not when a dog bites a man. It's when a man bites a dog. That's when. So the media, the print media more especially, has also carried this thing of bad news then. And as also the principles of honesty and integrity that Christians hold very dear as values, they lack in them. Because more than being a news bearers, the media, print media, one of their roles is to be educational. Yeah. So people must be educated about religion, about our Christianity, and we need to claim our place in the newspapers. Give them our stories. Give them stories about our churches. Give them stories about our achievers, people who believe in God who achieve. As a result, you find that there are no positive stories about Christianity that are carried by the newspapers. So the role that the newspapers can play in Christianity, it can increase the awareness, but we are the people who must use that space, who must utilize that space. Even if we have to buy space, if we've got the power to do that, we buy space in the newspapers and spread the gospel through the newspapers. Thank you.
It's caught in the crossfire.